This is Mumu Fresh here, and you are watching 24/7 HH Queen Bars. Top of the morning, I'm stretching and yawning, feeling grateful for the blessings that I have been afforded. God has really rewarded me, not just with material things, but with perspective. I eat it up like breakfast because I get the message. From now until you're resting with the stars, you'll always see the world not as it is, but as you are. Stay focused on raising your vibration. You're the dopest. With every iteration, don't wait on change, provoke it. And when you're at your lowest, heart feeling its brokest, remember contrast is important to your focus. How will you know which way to go without the diagnosis? And in your darkest hours, reach high, word to my floaters. Ever notice you don't know what you want until you know what you don't? I ain't know that money mattered till I dated a bum. And I looked at them like, damn, nigga, how much you want? As you grow, you'll see the world differently, you know. Sometimes we feel like the world is stagnant. It is what it is, but it's not. Because as your perspectives change about life, everything around you will change. You'll see it differently and you'll experience it differently. And so it will be different for you. And the other one, contrast is important to your focus. And it's funny because that term is actually true in photography as well. The way you're able to focus on something is by identifying what the contrast is to it. So a lot of times we look at contrast as being something negative. Like if you're focused on something and there are distractions around you, as opposed to looking at it like it's a negative thing, it's really showing you the difference between what your goal is and what the distractions are. You won't know what the distractions are or what your goal is without knowing what the distractions are. So I'm saying that as you're going through this life journey, this earth walk, and you're trying to determine what your focus is, what your purpose is, where you're going, all the other extraneous things that pop up and come in your way, as opposed to looking at them as roadblocks, you can really look at them as blessings. Like, okay, I know what this is because I know what this is not. You get what I'm saying? Like, you can look at it as all being to the good and helping you along your path and helping you to stay focused by providing contrast. I feel like music is definitely healing, like even without words, just the vibration of a tone, certain harmony blends, you know, certain scales I feel like are healing. Like sound in and of itself, it vibrates something in the inside of our bodies, right? We know that sound can actually physically move matter, right? So we know that it's doing something. But words on top of that are able to, speak to your intellect. They're able to open up your perspectives in maybe a way that, hadn't happened before. So I like that concept of life is not about what happens to you, but about how you perceive what happens to you. Because depending on how you receive something and perceive something, that can affect how you respond to it, or how you let it affect you in your own life. And that was just such a powerful piece for me to be like, what we repeat to ourselves on a daily basis, whether it's our favorite rap song or it's a positive affirmation, it is creating our subconscious beliefs about ourselves and about the whole rest of the world. What you believe about yourself and what you believe about the rest of the world or yourself in relationship to that, also it shapes how you show up in the world, how you move in the world, what you feel like you deserve, what you feel like is possible in your life. So, music becomes a mantra, you know what I mean? Like, so if you're listening to something that's constantly, degrading or tearing down your self-esteem or constantly pumping very limiting beliefs, you may find that is what you start to believe in your subconscious, and your subconscious beliefs are even more powerful than your conscious beliefs, you know what I mean? I feel like to really move forward and really be a co-creator and the master of your destiny, your conscious beliefs and your subconscious beliefs, you got to come into some alignment and agreement in between those things. And mantra is really important in shaping those beliefs. So yeah, I think music is very important and lyrics are very important because they shape our beliefs. The vision for this really came from, I would listen to a lot of self-help tapes, like people like Wayne Dyer and Abraham Hicks and people like that who weren't speaking to hip hop communities. And I was like, damn, man, like the hood needs some self-help too. And I was like, how can I take some of these same concepts that I feel like have been very beneficial to me in my own growth and development and speak to a community that are not going to pay to go to a self-help conference and who are not, don't know to seek the information about how to utilize your own attention, the attention that you give to a particular thing, how you can increase that thing. just how important our focus is, how important, just what the things that we focus on, they increase in our realities. And I was like, man, that's such a simple concept, but it's such a deep one and a really impactful one. And you can really change your reality and your environment as opposed to feeling victim. I feel like a lot of times we feel victim to some of our circumstances and probably relinquish more power than we keep, when we do that. So yeah, just like as I'm like learning some of these concepts and just toying with them in my own life or experimenting with them in my own life, I'm like, yo, I want to speak to my community about it. I don't mind sharing, believe me some. I'm straight out the slum, but God gave me a little something. Told me speak to his people and get them hip. You can turn them at the party, but remember who you leaving with. The flesh is temporary, soul is where the sequel is. Ain't hard to find the answers. Questions, are you seeking it? Do you believe in it? Are you receptive to receiving it? We get caught up in the drama of our own mess, and we tune in every day to see what happens next. Feeling victimized by all the unhappiness, not knowing any moment you can press reset. It's really that simple. Your mind is your temple, your words are your pencil, rewriting the realities we live through. A man had a dream, he was a butterfly. Cool breeze against his wings, flying through the sky. But when he woke, he wasn't sure anymore. Was he a butterfly dreaming he was a man? Either or, perspective. It's all about perspective. Gray spaces where the rest lives. It's all about perspective. So the last part that I was doing a man who had a dream he was a butterfly, and he wasn't sure when he woke up, was he a man dreaming he was a butterfly or a butterfly dreaming he was a man? It's a story that comes from a Wayne Dyer book that I was reading that I got from my father actually when he was in prison. And the book is called You'll See It When You Believe It, as opposed to, I'll believe it when I see it. And I guess what I really just wanted for him is for him to just give him some peace and kind of envision himself outside of the walls of the prison. He's home now, thank God. And so I would always try to get him just encouraging books and find little quotes and things like that to help him just to keep his head up while he was inside. Everything that we experience as a human race is a song. There can be a song for every experience. So I'm really just looking to kind of just test my own skills and challenge myself with as many different concepts as possible. I want to speak to every emotion that the human can have, and let this be our dinner table where we sit and we converse about the things that matter to us. A lot of times I feel like music is kind of limiting, especially for people of color, especially for women of color, to love songs or the lack of love. But there's so many other concepts and stories, that affect us as humans, a lot of different emotions. And I just want to delve a little bit more into that. So with this next record, you're going to hear a lot of that, of conversations, important conversations that need to be had. Yeah, so you can look forward to that. This verse is actually not recorded yet, it's not out there yet. We're looking, it'll be on the next album. I'm not exactly sure. Right now, I call it Perspective / More Than Enough. So I'm sure as it continues to develop, it will, we'll come up with another title for it. But it's a piece that's special to me because I feel like I've had to grow in my own evolution as a person to really start to understand some of those concepts and then also put them into practice, because knowledge without practice, is pointless. So yeah, that's what this piece is. And you can check it out on the next record that's coming soon. Can't wait to share it with you. A lot of my legacy is about striving for excellence as a person, as an artist, as a mom. A lot of my legacy, I want to be about healing, about emotional healing, spiritual healing, generational healing. That's really important to me. I feel like we all do better when we're whole, and to become whole, it takes healing of those broken pieces that we've lost along the way through relationships, through hardship, through, tragedy. And music I know to be very healing. And not just for the audience, because every time I'm performing, I'm healing myself as well as, offering a healing for the audience. So a lot of what I want my legacy to be is almost making this healing music, this spiritual music, very mainstream, where it's accessible to everyone. Because from the beginning of time, the real secrets were always kept for the elite. You know what I mean? The secrets to happiness, the secrets to healing, the secrets to, mastery, self-mastery were always kept for the elite. when it is, the common man that deserves to know how to master his own self, And definitely for young girls of color is definitely a something that's close to my heart, because that's who I was growing up and who I am as a woman. But especially for women of color, I think my main message is about self-love and self-acceptance. And it's also one about self-autonomy, owning yourself, owning your business, understanding yourself and your business, owning how you show up in the world, how you're projected to the world, the image that you project, that you have something to do with, how you're represented in the world. So, yeah.